Protest is an intrinsic part of democracy. Our news feeds are regularly filled with images of demonstrators across the world. In the Remembering Activism project, we study what happens to protest after the demonstrators have left the streets and lose the eye of the media. We ask how social movements are remembered, not just in people's heads and hearts, but in publicly available forms of culture. Memoirs, photographs, films, exhibitions, fiction, documentaries, these are just some of the many cultural carriers of memory that help to transfer ideas about protest from one generation to the next, from one context to the next. So how are such stories told? How do they circulate? And above all, how is the hope of earlier generations culturally transmitted to later ones? Because one of the things we've been finding is that the memory of earlier activism plays a role in later movements. The past can appear again in the present. Take the case of the Paris Commune, the insurgency which took over control of Paris in the spring of 1871. And if we then fast forward to New York in 2011, we can find multiple references to the events of Paris in the Occupy Wall Street movement. And 5 years later, when France had its own Occupy movement, the so-called Nuit debout movement, we find multiple references to the Commune again. So what did Vive la Commune mean in 2011 and 2016? Long live the Commune suggests that the events of 1871 were being invoked as something positive, as something to be repeated or revived. To remember the Commune in a positive way, however, is to forget something else. The fact that the Commune, which was initially successful in creating a new society, ended in terrible bloodshed a few months later, with thousands slaughtered by government forces. So how come one story is remembered and another forgotten? The short answer is that in the long term, the people most invested in remembering the Commune were the ones most attached to the hopeful part of the story. By now, we've collected more than 200 cultural carriers relating to the Commune: memoirs, novels, documentaries, graphic novels, and films, produced decade after decade over more than a century. Take, for example, The New Babylon, a silent film from 1929 with a striking score by Shostakovich. Although historical fiction, it doesn't gloss over the violence with which the Commune ended. But the fast-paced music and visual montage means that the overall effect is energizing rather than mournful. Above all, the film ends on a note of defiance. The communards, on the point of being executed, one after another call out "Vive la Commune," and then in the final images, the camera also slowly moves over the same words. The film doesn't just evoke these words, however, it literally also makes the Commune come alive for the viewer, through drama, through music, through lighting, through passionate gestures. In this way, cultural memory offers a pushback to the course of history. The government forces tried to erase the Commune in 1871, but a decades-long investment in telling its story has ensured they didn't succeed. Witness it still being invoked as a positive model by activists 100 years later. We can, of course, debate the extent to which this memory is a distortion of history, but we cannot deny the role of memories in shaping the present. Whereas events happen just once, cultural memory is an ever-renewable resource for later generations in thinking about what they want and how to get it.